Hi, welcome back to All About the Alternative. I'm the Gadget Lady. Today, this is going to be a little different. I'm doing a little bit more on the commentary side, a little bit more on the storytelling side, and a little bit more of the, we call it deep dive or debunking something as well, which seems to be a lot of people like to do that. This is sort of my opportunity to give it a go. I did it on another one a little bit to try to explain what a product was. That someone didn't understand, and so I just sort of gave my little bit of it in one of my other videos, and so that's what I did. So this is sort of the same way, and so today I'm going to deep dive into a product. Stick with me, I'll be right back. Okay, so this product is called Mascara. It's a product, it's been known as mascara for a very long time. And for some reason, this commenter refuses to use the actual word. And I'm not sure why, because it's a well-known product and it's not called Lashcara, it's called Mascara. It is referred to as mascara, and we'll get into that in a moment. But so yeah, I've been watching this commenter talk about this and talk about it like when somebody says the word and then he goes and says it the way they think it is, and I don't understand that one at all. So I'm just going to say it like it is. It's called mascara. Yes, there is a product called Lashcara, and we'll just debunk that part right now. It is an Amazon product. I believe it's an Amazon product because it's only sold by Amazon and it's only sold in the US. If you do want to purchase it in Canada, you have to pay a very steep price for it to be delivered to Canada. I believe above the actual price of it, which is already $35 or something, and it's a kit or something. But it's an additional $12 to $15. And that's a U.S. price, so I'm assuming that's a U.S. price. It could be Canadian price. I'd have to have another look at that. But it is, you know, if you want to purchase it in Canada, you'd have to actually have it delivered here. From there, it'd probably take a little longer. And I think for this kind of product, I don't see why you would spend that much on this product. But some people do. Who am I? I'm going to just go with that. I mean, there may be some people that do have the product as this Lashcara, but it's not called that, and they have it because somebody probably thought putting out the product is that. There's another one called Falscara, which is actually just false eyelashes, and it's a whole system of putting on how you put on false eyelashes and stuff like that. So that's called Falscara. But the actual product known as mascara. Now, according to what I looked up, and I sort of did a little deep dive into learning about what it is, it's basically the earliest you can actually find of this information for it is actually mascara can be traced back to ancient Egypt, and that would be between 3000 to 4000 BCE, believe it or not. Egyptians used something called kohl to darken their eyelashes and eyebrows. I think we now use charcoal or something like that as part of the product, which is probably about the same idea. So it's like a lead sulfate that they grinded down, and they would put some their pigments in, and that was how they created like a powder that they would put onto the on eyelashes. They probably used it on other areas of makeup as well for the same type of style thing. Most likely that's probably what they did. Whenever they were dressing up or whatever, they would put on different makeups, and that of course they wore different other makeups. They wore paint on their skin and other things like that, which today I'm sure was developed into tattoos and things like that in later times. But that's how they did it. So they just did that, and so that was in ancient Egypt times. So then you go a little further into now times. little closer into 1830s, a man named Eugene Rimmel, a French performer, developed the first commercial actually called Mascara. It was made from petroleum jelly and a coal dust. Again, it's probably our charcoal that we use today. And he named it Mascaro, which means mask in Spanish. I'm sort of reading this and apologize, I didn't want to make it wrong, as it was meant to mask the perfections in the eyelashes. Mascara truly became a widely popular in the 1900s, and since, of course, is used widely today. And then the first mascara wands that we use was invented in the 1880s by Helena Rubinstein. And they did a mixture of petroleum jelly and that black pigment, which created the mascara, and was made available into areas like the US and of course into Canada now. And another chemist in 1913 was Thomas Lyle Williams, created the first actual mascara that was the one available in the U.S. And he named it Maybelline, and that was after his sister Maybelle, who inspired him to create the product. So there you go. It is called Mascara because it was actually named that by the creator of it, the inventor of it, created that. Okay, and of course it has evolved in different ways. In the 1950s, they created waterproof versions of it. Of course, there's a lot of other chemicals that they put in it, different colorings, different pigments that they've used, and it just, it's a big product. It's a big industry now. And it's widely known, and of course most people use it when they're doing their makeup and everything. And so yeah, so it goes from those Egyptian times and then into our more recent times, and it got created by an actual inventor who created it to be called mascara because it was a Spanish word for mascaro, which is what he used. Even though he's a French performer, I guess, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But according to the information that I had looked into, that is how I found out about it. And so I did my reading. A lot of times I do a lot of reading, I do a lot of research on things. If I don't know about something, I look it up and I find out information about something. And that's what should have been done with this. I don't know. But, hey, if you don't know about what a product is and you've made up a word for what you think it's supposed to be, I don't know. That's really a choice thing, I guess. Maybe it's something on his channel that is specific. I thought at first it was a product he was creating for his channel, but it doesn't appear to be, and it seems to be every time that the word is mentioned, it's re-changed into that word, and I don't believe it's a word we're not allowed to say or anything, so I don't know why that would be done. Anyway, so there's a lot of historical information that there's probably a lot more information than what I've deep dived into that, but that was the biggest part of it. So from ancient times, we went into more recent times and gave that name. Okay, but I hear you scream at my camera, at your TV. Well, what does this got to do with an alternative? Well, I got really into it a little bit more because I love to make my own makeup. And so, of course, you sort of look into these things and you find out information. And of course, I looked at a lot of bigger recipes and stuff like that were for making mascara was using the charcoal, but I was looking for something. I didn't have any charcoal, and I would have had to have bought it separately, and I wasn't looking to do that. I was looking for how you could make it without that and do something very simple. And then I came up with a different recipe, and so it was very interesting for me to discover this. So this recipe is basically only 4 ingredients. And a little bit of time. It's actually only took very little time, actually. It only maybe took me 10 minutes to make, and it probably took about a few more minutes maybe for it to solidify into the actual product. And so this is what it came out to. Now I sort of tweaked it a little bit in my own favor because I used the things I had, and so that's how I'm doing it for this. But so as an alternative, making your own and DIYing your own makeup, and so this is one as a as that alternative thing. So basically what it is just like I said, 4 actual ingredients. So one of them is this coconut oil. That's one tablespoon of coconut oil, and about a tablespoon or a teaspoon, depending on how much you want to make. So let's go with that because you have to decide how much you want to make of it. So a little bit of aloe gel. Now, the one I actually had said eyeshadow you could use, and so if you wanted to take an old eyeshadow and take some of the powder from your eyeshadow, you could use that. But you actually, the one that I have is using mica powder. I actually use it on quite a bit of stuff. So the mica powder that I use is this box of mica powder. It comes with a whole bunch of different types of mica powder, and you'll probably see a picture of it here. And so you have different colors. You can choose whatever color you'd like to make. And that's the other thing, you can mix colors to make a brand new color that you really enjoy. At one time, I bought one from a dollar store, and it actually, it was a really blue color, and it matched my eyes so well. I wish I had purchased more of it because when I went back, it wasn't available. And yeah, it's a dollar store item, you know. But anyway, so there's that. And then the other thing you have, the last ingredient is beeswax pellets, or just some sort of beeswax that you can use as well. Some of them have like a little bit of like a more flake version of it. Melt it down slightly, just enough to make it pliable. You don't want to melt it completely because otherwise it'll be too runny. And then you mix all 4 of these ingredients together, and you just keep mixing and mixing and mixing until you actually have your thing, the consistency that you'd like. That's another thing you have to keep in mind is the consistency you'd like it to be. That's why I recommend actually making it into more of a liquid form or a hard liquid form for the pellets so that it's not very lumpy. But you can make that up, and then you can get the wands. You can actually get them from Amazon. You can get them from the dollar store, Temu. You can get them from a lot of different places that you can actually get them, and just use them the same way you would normally use eyeshadow or mascara. So, but you can also use it for eyeshadow too, or some other areas that you can use it as well, depending on how you use your makeup. But you can definitely use this for your own version of makeup, of mascara. So, so there's that. Because I had looked into a lot of places for purchasing, you know, the cost of purchasing mascara in many places. And of course, there's lots of different brands out there today. Maybelline, of course, is one of them, but there's also CoverGirl, there's e.l.f., there's L'Oreal, and many other brands. So I'm sure that you know, there's some store-style brands as well that are out there. I'm sure Amazon's brand isn't just that one. I'm sure there's others that Amazon's got as well. I guess I have a little bit. I just like to dive into making my own of these things. I'm not doing it to sell it or anything, just for my own personal use. But if somebody was able to actually create it like this and market it, all the power to them. So yeah, a lot of stores that do carry these products are, of course, that Dollarama. You know, it really depends on how much you're looking to spend. There's another store we have here. I believe it's also a U.S. company too. It's called Sally's Beauty Supply, which is, I do get a lot of stuff from them. Walmart, Shoppers Drug Mart, and Hudson's Bay Company, the Bay that we have here. I was very surprised to learn, actually, that both Shoppers Drug Mart and Hudson's Bay Company do exist in the States, but that's another deep dive for another day. And of course, you can always get any of these products probably in Amazon and have them delivered right to your door. And I'm sure Temu's got a bunch of them too. So anywhere from a price range of $3 to, well, 25 is probably a good range for some of the more expensive ones, and some really, really expensive ones go even close up to $40. And it's a little tiny little thing. When I made it like this, I put a price tag on it of under $2 to make your own. So there you go. All the products, of course, cost the difference of different things, like the oils and the gels, and that might cost like $5. But if you were to make this product and mix it up into your version of it here, this here of the actual amount of it is only about $2 of the actual product. Okay, that's what I'm counting as $2. And it probably would go for however length of time you want, and you're making each color that you like, and all that fun stuff. So hopefully that gave a little bit of insight. I don't know if the commenter that I'm mentioning here, I'm not actually mentioning who it is. As I said in the previous one I did, and another one, I'm not saying who it is. If they know who they are, then hopefully from here on in, they will understand what the product actually being called Mascara, not Lashcara, and they will stop calling it that in the future, hopefully. He calls out a lot of other people for things that they do and what they look like, and to be honest, I almost didn't re-establish my channel because of something that he said, and I was worried, and I just broke through the whole thing and just said, you know what? I'm not letting somebody put me in a position of thinking that something's going to be thought, and I said, nope, I'm just going to do this, and I wanted to do this. I'm having a little bit, I enjoy doing it, it's fun. And so I will probably do more of these deep dives coming soon, and I look forward to all of that. Hopefully you can give me a like and a subscribe, and comment below if you have anything that you'd like to talk about on this, or if you'd like to see me do other deep dives on other things. And I will see you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody, and a happy summer.